Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's gone. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give him much run after catch.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
After the interception, here's Goff. It's caught. Decker. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On second down, here's Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Now Goff. It's caught. Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First catch so far for Julio. He's got a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing on third. Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On first down, it's Gurley. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, They may have to devote at least a second guy to him.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
And the tackle there will go to Charles Harris.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now gone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. Back now with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Detroit. Detroit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mixon trying to punch it in. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on third and goal.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
They'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Michael Brockers in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's Goff now on second down. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Rams on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. They got him in. It's Woods. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Eddie Vanderdoes there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Dolphins will start their drive at the 20-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. Now Goff on first down. Wide open receiver complete. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Goff again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Rams on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, Goff. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 race. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. is not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. From the 50, it's gone. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for 4. It's second down. To throw on second down is gone. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Steelers who were able to walk away with the road victory. 21-0, the final score. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And
now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. There to make the tackle, Samson Ebukam.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319!
Now back to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And got his man complete. It's a big play here for the Dolphins on third. And even 40 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on third and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On second down, here's Mixon. Dances by him. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking for White on the deep ball. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Grant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The left side completion to Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. To Mixon on the check down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents, and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, He's really good.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On 2nd and 10, Goff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Goff. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, here's Goff. Powering his way forward. Throw complete right side to Cooks. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Goff on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 1st down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From the red zone now, Goff. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Julio Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10. A big play there for the Dolphins. 63 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Back to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal.
Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And no, it's incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. A gain of 6 there on 1st. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. From the gun on third down. Gone. And got him in. It's Woods. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards on the play. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Again, Goff. It's caught. Jones. The 20. Jones breaking from the cut. Touchdown, LA. Julio Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
That one looks like he'll throw here. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A very solid gain of 27. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now back to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Grant. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Steps away to his left, and it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Dolphins,